So today we're going to do assignment 15 in Photoshop. So go to the handout folder and go find assignment 15. I provided you with a photo, but feel free to use any photo that you have taken. So let me just reopen this photo here. There we go. Now the first thing we're going to do is obviously always create a copy, so Command J, do that very quickly. We're going to create a new what's called an adjustment layer down here, this little icon here. And what we're going to make is a hue saturation. So you notice this is popped up here. Check off colorized, set this to 199, 25, and 0. Okay? And it kind of changes the color there. And it's created this adjustment layer that we can turn on and off. The first thing we want to do is actually add some color back to our character's face. And what we're going to do, or how we're going to do that, is select a brush. It's a standard size brush. Change this opacity to 30%. And we're just going to paint to bring a little bit of this person's color back to their face. You don't want to go overboard with the flow of the brush. It's just a little bit. There we go. And again, if you zoom in, it'll make it a little bit easier, and you can bring back some of this girl's face color too, and her hands. So just the size of the brush there. Okay, there we go. Now I can zoom back out. Okay, so there's the photo. Now what we're going to do is select this layer 1, and we're going to add a filter to it. So I'm going to go to filter, and I'm going to add a blur filter. I'm going to make it a motion blur. I'm going to set the angle to -40 and the distance 35 pixels. Okay, so there's a preview of it. Click OK. Now what I'm going to do is actually create a layer mask. And if you remember how to do that, that's by clicking on this thing down here, which is a layer mask. Now I'm going to switch back to my brush, and I'm going to change my opacity back up to 100%. And then what I want to do is I want to paint over the two people on the mask, so making sure that you're on the mask, to bring them back into view. Okay, so you can see how that is bringing him back into view. And again, this is a step where you should take your time. I'm going to do this quickly for the purposes of the tutorial. Please zoom in a bit and do a better job than I am. I just don't want to have a tutorial where I'm spending 20 minutes making proper adjustments when I just want to quickly show you what this should all look like. So there's the guy and the girl, okay? So they're back in view. Again, take your time on that step. Maybe give his face a little bit more back in view here. Okay. Now, at the top of this stack, I'm going to create another new layer. And I'm going to fill this with white. So if our colors are reset here, I can just Command backspace to fill with white. And I'm going to go to filter. I'm going to add my noise filter again. So I'm going to add noise. I'm going to set this to 101.5 and make sure that's Gaussian, and make sure monochromatic is checked off. Click OK. Now what I'm going to do is change this to color burn, and I'm going to drop the opacity of this way down. So I just want a little bit of an effect there. Okay, so about 12%. And that is your final motion blur photo. So very quick tutorial. So once again, take your time when going over these guys on the masking layer. So save this as your last name, followed by an underscore, followed by Simon15 to your desktop. Click Save, click OK, and put it in the handed folder.